You never got a bill.
He just wants to ask you a question.
We're just waiting for, we're just trying to introduce her.
She's good.
Do you know John?
Yes, I was going to say John. Hi, this is John.
I'll have to check because I didn't think we didn't have a sign before.
The one that I think is outstanding is.
And I also had a dial, a code.
Well, the filing for the state, that's.
Because I'm tired, you know?
Yes.
Yes, that one I knew you were working.
Yeah.
That power of ADHD,
Oh.
drink caffeine.
Dang.
Oh, yeah, I could drink caffeine, but no problem. But ADHD. That's mine, I can do it.
I'll take coffee, but I'll your house.
Okay. I can't offer you a beer.
Okay.
Mine's with a caffeine actually in the center of my room. Yes.
So if you guys have that list, and I never pronounce your last name.
Beanie.
Beanie, even though it's not spelled that way. It looks like beans to you, but anyhow. This is Karen, this is Rich. Hi, Ed.
I would stand up, but it's a child.
He has
Liz.
Well, okay.
You call me,
I
I'll let you do it.
What are you saying?
well, her last name is Beanie, but it's B-E-H-N-E.
I was gonna wait until the 10th, but between tonight and tomorrow and Thursday. That's actually the worst time. In 2 weeks, if the weather
He
holds
just
down,
went to
just,
Germany.
you know, about
Where were you?
the frost will be on the ground.
We went to the Christmas.
But usually everybody waits way too long, and all the damage is
We were at
done.
Oxford.
Then you go up again.
Yeah, he's
My husband, our engineers, we were at the MAN.
Yeah, I mean,
we had developed it.
He's an Ed, Rich is next to him. What kind of?
He said Maria's going to be actually.
hopefully they're right up there.
This is what we.
Oil rigs.
Rooming hours out.
And I love it.
That's a field trip.
It is. He went to Maine Maritime. And when he graduated, he went into just doing commercial shipping and did that for like 6 years.
Wow.
He's ready for a change.
Yes.
My son-in-law.
I haven't done it yet, but I have.
Those the only two
But
so
he
far.
works for Apple Marine and they do, they work for like diving and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's looking for a change. He's pretty worn out from traveling after 20 years.
Yeah, and it's a way, you know.
Yes, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even get to be an engineer anymore now.'s just upper management. So he doesn't even get to do engineering anymore.
So how long is he gone for? What?
5 years.
5 weeks.
Signature.
I'm going to be a library trustee. So.
I took care of it.
Oh, no problem. All right, I'm going to take off.
Did you guys enter? And it,
So,
oh,
yes.
No, yeah, sure.
it was you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm used to TV.
A lot different TV bank.
TV is different. So I've done TVs, I have this, but it'll just, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for doing it.
But anyway, I'm gonna take off. See you tomorrow.
Unfortunately, they didn't do any training for that, they just did a couple memos.
Where's your signature?
Even with the memos, it's like, it was in front of me the whole time.
Hey, as your birth certificate, SRBC, they ran a page that.
Or your birth certificate, and changed it since.
So you're supposed to look at the back of this and adhere it to the inside. I mean, that's how Where's my very comment? Yeah, I changed mine. And so we're sticky stickers. Yeah, Steven's in your last part off.
And I told Kate's gonna come in. That's all right. I just can't remember.
We agree,
Hopefully it'll
as
do.
long as they.
Just with the account.
They won't do it until we say that.
Yes.
Did I give you my agenda? I think I might have given you my.
So good. I've got to do a different job.
Did you bring one over to the library?
I did.
Yes. She did a nice job.
Yeah, I
with
did.
her agenda.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I took it over.
Probably
Because they, I think they keep it
Oh, I
on.
probably got stuck in.
Oh, okay, I think I already looked.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the archive records.
And I did. There it is. I found it, I found it.
And have you seen do you watch what you do?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're not
I'm
in the
out of town, so I.
Oh, you should, yeah.
He has his own channel, it's called, well, channels, Eric will off them all.
And I can play
Yeah, AI,
I can Zoom.
I think yes, so you have to type the whole thing here too. And the podcast is
Sister's trip.
So,
So I have no idea.
Kimville Show. So it's all the brothers.
Okay, you ready?
Which
5:58.
5:58.
I'm just telling,
We gotta fix the clock.
I'm telling the public the time, did you do anything you want?
I appreciate
You're the chair.
it. All right, we'll call the meeting in order. Ed, would you lead us in pledge, please?
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public input this evening? Okay, meeting minutes. We have two sets. We have one carried over from February 4th. Ron's not here. I wasn't at the February 4th meeting, so we're not going to be able to deal with that one tonight.
I would like to make an amendment to those minutes though. On page 2 at the top, land use change. Tax map 28 lot 2, the acreage taken out of current use should be 0.04. What I read off into the minutes was the entire acreage involved.
I'm sorry, what was the amount of acreage again? It was
Zero-
0.04, right?
0.04.
0. Thank you.
And then right below that, on tax map 4 lot 8 alpha, the acreage taken out of current use should be 0.848. Again, I did the same thing, I read off the acreage of the entire lot in the meeting, so it's got to be corrected. I will have to wait for Ryan to come back to approve it.
Yes. But what you just changed will go in tonight's meeting minutes.
Yes, yes.
And then we're going to go to the February 18th meeting minutes.
I read through, I didn't have any issues with February 18th, so I'll make a motion and we approve as presented.
All right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's get right into the board and department reports. Jed,
I
you.
do, yeah. This is a real quick one that Marshall asked me to cover this. This is Stratford County Regional Planning Commission. They're updating the regional master plan. So they have a survey. It's information's on this card, which is on the table. And so anyone can participate. They would love to get feedback. So he just asked that I let people know that. Okay. The second thing, the election, March 11th. We are all set. We have someone to fill in for Brian while he's working. We have 4 teams, total of 8 volunteers for counting. Ballot clerks, so we're all set. I just need to know when you guys are going to be setting up. And because of your foot. Do you need some extra help?
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, then, good. And then the last thing is on the library, Meg has joined the board, so we now have 3 people from Brookfield on the board of the library, and so that's the latest.
Good, thank you. Ed, you have anything?
No, just we had the permitted uses approved for Moose Mountain, and we have a meeting on Monday, which just has nothing really new on it, but.
Thank you. Anything from the road agent, Chris?
Yeah. Posted the roads today, assuming that there's no issue from you, they'll be effective in the morning. That's okay. I did have a question about Moose Mountain Road, though. All of our roads are posted for 6 ton, but because we have several commercial businesses there on Moose Mountain Road, it's going to be sort of unenforceable, the 6 ton limit. So I'm wondering if you would want to change that to maybe a 10 ton limit. You got a bar and a restaurant that are going to get supplied weekly, and those trucks are over our weight limit. And every road has some amount of traffic, oil trucks and trash trucks and stuff like that they don't ask, but I guess in my opinion, it's kind of foolish to post the road and then just basically allow any of those businesses to do whatever they want with it. So it's either an enforcement issue or we should change what we're posting it for. Just something to think about, maybe even going forward. But there's a sign on the road now, and for 6 ton.
Do you know what other towns do? I mean, most towns post, right?
Some do, some don't. And usually if there's, businesses or a more commercial feel to the area, they don't post because it's not, if you're going to have those businesses, they have to have support.
Now, in other areas in town, I know we get phone calls, can we go on the posted road? And the response is usually before 8 a.m. while everything's still frozen.
Yeah, but, yeah. I do it on a case-by-case basis when they ask me, but it's just something, we're kind of moving forward in time here, and things are changing, so just something to consider, I guess. The 6 ton limit is basically a passenger car. Anything more than that, even the dump truck that I drive with nothing in it is 6 ton. So, it's a pretty low limit, and it's good for the roads, but like I said, you have a lot of people that are running a business there that are going to use it no matter what. Other towns are, 8 ton, 10 ton, 6 ton, they're all over the place. There's no continuity to it, but
Do you know what the basis is for the 6 ton, the history of how it came
I
about?
think it's basically just to say, we're allowing passenger cars to operate as usual. Anything more than that, you need to get permission.
Is it same recollection for you, Rich?
For me, we've been posting
Yeah.
them for decades.
It's 6 tons.
Yeah. Those are the only signs I've ever seen is 6 ton for this town, but that doesn't mean that, at some point maybe it was different. But my guess is, if you go back several years, this wasn't an issue because it was strictly residential, and so times are changing. Maybe we should, think about it. What you want to do.
Well, the question is, why do we even post it? If we're not doing it before 6, 8, or 10, why do we even post?
Well, that's another way of looking at it. Years ago, the town of Wakefield completely stopped posting. Their road agent just didn't believe in it. He just figured people are paying taxes, and they pay a lot to register these trucks, and they're just going to let them do it. And if the road breaks up, they'll fix it. I'm not trying to tell you to post the roads. I'm personally against posting myself because, you pay a lot of money to register these vehicles, and it's you know, it's not really their problem that the town roads weren't built right. It's not our problem either, it's just the way they were. But,
I don't, I'm inclined to agree with what he's saying about not posting at all. I mean, I don't, it doesn't sound like there's a huge benefit to doing it. And if we just simply say, go ahead anyway, we're not enforcing it, what's the point of posting it?
the only thing I would add to that is, you know, if you post them at 10 tons or 12 tons, something like that, that gives some leeway, you know, for the oil trucks or for, you know, food delivery. What it does is stops trucks like a dump truck or a log truck that weighs 40 ton.
Well, you bring up a good point. Homes on these restricted roads can't even get oil to them.
Yeah,
Propane.
yeah, they ignore it anyway. It's sort of exempted because of that, you know. They could ask permission, but if we said no, they'd say, well, they need oil, so too bad. You know.
Do they stop hauling out of the pit?
Yeah.
They do?
And my experience is anybody that's hauling heavy like that is, they want to be in compliance. Very few times have I seen where somebody is actively trying to thwart the process, you know. So that would be the only argument I could say for just raising the limit. But that's a discussion for you guys to think about, and maybe even talk to some other towns, I don't know.
Yeah, what's the gross weight of a 10-wheel dump truck?
I think it can weigh up to 72,000.
We're not going to raise it.
No, and that's why some other towns you'll see it like 10 ton, because it just sort of caps that to the medium duty size trucks.
Right, so the F500 series would be okay at 10 ton?
Yep, they're typically, GVW on those trucks is typically 19,500 pounds. Which obviously is 10 ton.
All right, so before we post them next year, let's have a discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, Ed?
Just wondering if there's anything to do with the bridge that
No.
would change anything?
No. It's strictly for springtime when the frost is coming out of the ground, and you can see it on your road, the dirt, it turns into a mud pit, and so. But that's just something I thought I'd bring up now because it's that time of year and thinking about it, and things obviously are changing. So
we'll ask around, but before we post next year, let's have a discussion.
yeah, should do it plenty ahead of time so we can have new signs made. I got a couple other things too. We have an expired temporary driveway permit. It expired on January 1st. And I don't know if that's something that you want to enforce or revisit another time, but
When did you say it expired?
January 1st.
Thank you, that's what I thought.
How many do we have?
Just one.
Just the one?
Yep.
I'm not familiar with it.
It's on Moose Mountain Road. I can't recall the number, but it was temporary access for power, but it's continued use at the moment. And to be honest, it really can't be rectified until the spring, but it is expired, and need to just make a ruling on it, whether you want to make it a permanent driveway or...
So what do we want? Do we want him to renew the permit? We want him to put the culverts in? We want him to take the driveway out?
I put on the permit that it should be reclaimed. The end of it should be reclaimed because they have a driveway already. This was an additional one for access for power. That's the way it was explained to me, so I just said, that would be fine, and as long as it was reclaimed. And the date on the permit was January 1st, 2025.
And it says reclaim on it, by the way?
Yep.
It does say that?
I can get a copy of it, but the end of the driveway needed to be reclaimed so that it didn't appear as a driveway. And to be fair, I don't think the power got installed until February, so didn't really make a big deal about it, but the power is done now and the permit has expired. So.
Is it still being used?
Yeah.
So it's more than just power at this point.
Yes.
There's no reason why you can't have more than one driveway on a lot. Should they apply for another driveway permit?
They could, but I would refer you to the subdivision plan that is on file here. It's very specific about driveway placement and culvert size because of a wetland.
And prohibited permit?
Yes.
So I guess we should write a letter. If you would give us a copy of the driveway permit.
Yep.
We'll put that as an attachment.
Okay. Last,
Is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. I'll get a copy for you, and I'll have Craig pull out the plot plan too, just so you can see what.
I've seen it. I've seen the
Okay.
pamphlet. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll get the copy of the permit for you anyway. The last thing, it doesn't matter to me, but I just figured I'd report it that somebody's been digging sand out of the sand shed with a skid steer. So
With a what?
a skid steer.
That's what I thought you
Small. You've probably seen it driving up and down the road a bunch of times.
I haven't.
No, I haven't been out much.
No.
I haven't seen anything.
I said it doesn't affect me, but it's part of what we've got in the ordinance there. And
Yeah, I mean, that's just not right. Why would somebody need a skid steer? That's a little more than 3 buckets.
yeah, but like I said, it's not, to me, it's not worth starting a war over, but I figured I would just let you know that it's happening.
It happened before. That's why we had it back here.
Yeah.
That's why we moved it back here. We had to get out of the way for the tractors to get in there, to get the sand out.
Yep. It's, in all honesty, you're talking a couple of dollars worth of sand, so it's not, I don't feel, it's just my opinion that I'm not worried about it. I don't think it's like a massive theft, but it is, we do have a rule for it, so.
Do you know who it is? The state?
Yeah, I think so, but I wouldn't want to say without knowing for absolute positive.
All right, we can talk about this at another time, and if I have to go knock on the door, I'll go knock on the door and find out what's going on.
Okay. That's it.
We used to have a sign out back, 3 pails.
Yeah.
We should post the sign, because right now there's no indication that there's any limit. So I don't know where the sign went.
It probably went with the building.
I
It was probably.
thought we took the sign down, but I can't find it. I looked for it with our other signs and I couldn't find it, so I'm not sure where it is. Because that's what I was going to do, is I was just going to put it up there so that it was posted near the sand, but
Yeah.
it may have gone with the building or somebody else may have it, I don't know, but it's not in our collection of signs out there.
Okay. So what are we going to do with this?
Well, I'll find out who it is, and I'll speak with the individual. If I can find out who it is, I'll speak with him and find out why he's doing it, and I'll bring it back to the board.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Kate, we want to thank you for the town report. Excellent job.
Not just me. Rose and I.
Well, it really was well done, and it was very interesting. It was done so promptly. I mean, we didn't start in December, right? We started mid-January.
Yes. And everybody got me their reports on time. It was very good.
We weren't chasing.
You had some come in late too,
Yes.
and you still got it done in a short amount of time. Good effort.
I think after doing it for the first time last year, it made this year much more smooth. So.
Well, thank you. Well done. Karen, that's your name, Karen.
It's been too long. Let's see, just a few things. The new deputy started on February 4th. Her name's Elizabeth Beanie, and she's working out really well, very experienced. We've made a few changes that are for efficiency that I think people will appreciate. I also am looking into seeing if we can do registrations for snowmobiles and side-by-sides. It'd be a little more revenue for the town. I'm just looking at the application process. A lot of our residents already have trailers for those things, and then they have to go somewhere else and register them. So just looking into that, but I'll bring back more information. And our goal is to get the customer counter credit cards up and running by June 1st, hopefully like April, May. So we've made several steps in that process.
Good.
And just a reminder that dogs are due now, but by April 30th, all dogs need to be registered, and Elizabeth's been really working on that a lot. And we do have absentee ballots available, still enough time, and I'll help people do them, I'll help see that they get them in a timely manner. If anybody wants an absentee ballot, they can get the request online or just give me a call. And
the rules have changed for registering on period, right? To register now, you need different documentation.
you have to prove your citizenship, no matter what.
The affidavit doesn't work.
No more affidavits, you have to have a passport or birth certificate. There's several items, and all of that information is online under the town clerk's election site. Everything's been updated, so if you have any questions, check there and give me a call. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything for us?
Just, we're getting prepared to start with the credit cards. We opened up a new accounting profile where all of the credit card transactions will go through. It'll just be for that. It'll be a clearing account. So we've got that set up, and we're just working to get everything ready to go.
Okay. And anything else?
I do have a couple things. So tomorrow mornings is the first set of training for the new Civic Plus program. I think me and Rose are going to do it. After that, because this will just be an introduction to the changes they're making, after that, Rose and I will figure out when and how to train everyone else on things, once we have a better idea of what kind of changes they're going to make.
So you're telling us there's a new web
Product, a new website product. They've been working on it for about a year now, so I've been behind the scenes cleaning up all the old postings and things we don't need anymore. Like, oh, my office is going to be closed in last February or whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah, so pretty soon we should have a newly updated website. I'm not sure when yet, but we're getting there. Progress.
I think we should talk about, before we go live, I think we should talk about what it means to the people that use it and how we're going to get them trained, or what that looks like.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Like I said, I just want to go through this first thing to see what's going to be involved,
Okay.
and then we can go from there. The other news I have is, out of 120 applicants, I was chosen as one of 24 women to be a part of the inaugural class of the New Hampshire Women's Leader Institute, which is being put on through Primex. So in mid-May, they're having, Primex is putting on a risk management summit up at the Mount Washington Resort, and the inaugural class of this, I guess we'll call it, will be held then. And then there will be one class a month through November. But the rest of them will be in Concord at Primex's normal office.
You're planning to attend, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, I am hoping to attend that.
Is there a costly?
I am not sure of the costs or anything yet. I don't think there's any cost to attend, since it is a Primex thing, but the hotel will cost something. They did say there will be a discount for attendees. They don't know those numbers yet, though, so I can't give those to you at this time. I'm working on it.
You know what I'm going to ask.
I know. I don't know yet.
What's the payback to the town for the expenditure? What are we going to get out of this?
I don't fully know yet, because details are still being worked out, but at the very least, they're going to work on my public speaking skills and how to, like, conflict management type stuff, how to work with the various boards. there's some other stuff too.
So when the agenda comes out, or the,
Yes, I will properly present it as a thing to do later.
to see if we really want, how we want to participate, if we want to participate.
I just wanted to let you know that I was selected though.
Anything else?
No, that's it for now.
How about the computer?
So John Rich did get back to me on the computer, but the one he chose is worse than the one I showed you last time and costs $100 more. So I'm still working on choosing a reasonable laptop for us that doesn't have a bunch of extra stuff we don't need.
Why won't he do that for us?
Like I said, the one he chose has a bunch of stuff we don't need and it costs $100 more.
When you said worse, I assume you meant it wasn't as good. It had stuff we
It's
didn't
bloated
need.
with a bunch of programs and things we wouldn't use.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the two computers are basically the same, just one has less junk on it to start. And Jan did tell me the price of the meeting tower camera system thing that the library got was like, what, $1,200?
Yeah,
So the one I found is much cheaper than that, but
So my concern with a different computer than the one that's recommended, will he support the one that we buy if it's not the one he recommended? Because a lot of people in IT say, this is what I support.
that's a good question.
And if you get something that's out of my domain, I don't touch that, so
I
that's.
will ask him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now we're talking a computer, maybe $1,000, and the tower, what, 400 or 500?
The tower was 400 and the laptop I proposed was 470. The one he proposed, I think, was 550.
Okay.
So about $1,000 total. But
We want to make sure he supports it.
yes, that's it for me.
Okay. So then we're going to do business. We've been working on, Ed's been working on with Chris a winter parking ordinance to deal with some relief so when people park on the road, we're trying to plow snow. We don't do any damage, and we can do a fair job of plowing it. So what I like to suggest is that in a month, we put on the agenda looking for public input to review the winter parking ordinance. And would you, there's a draft floating around, and you would post that on the website so people can see it, and if they want to give us their input in a month, so be it. And the reason I say a month is we reorganize in 2 weeks, and then we'll be up and running again in a month.
What I'll do, Leah, is I'll take the Word document that's circulating now that I generated and send it to you so you can put it on the letterhead and put the water stamp on it for draft, or however you identify that as a draft.
Okay. So do you want me to post it fairly immediately once I get all the stuff, but then you'll have public input in a month?
Public input in a month.
Okay,
at a
just
select-
making sure.
At a selectmen meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the same meeting, we have some proposed changes to our building permit, and I'd like to discuss those with the public also
Okay.
in a month, just so everyone's aware of what's coming down the road.
So I'll post those drafts as well?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Okay, election setup. Election.
All right, we don't have a whole lot of options, right? I'm thinking election is on Tuesday, set up Monday afternoon, Monday morning. Oh, you can't do a whole thing. Well, how about just being there for moral support?
I can come down and watch. I was thinking, should we ask Brad to help you?
He's recovering from a knee replacement.
Yeah.
But yes, we can ask, and if you can do it, fine, if you can't.
Well, Brian's ill, right? So we can find out if he can help. when it can help. We're running out of time, right? It's gotta be, yes, Brad.
Let's set the time.
Brad, Chris?
I'll help you if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Let's set the time for when, March 10th. I believe we can go 10 o'clock in the morning, let me just check. Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning, that'll work? Okay, 10 o'clock on March 10th will be the setup. And Jan, did you have a question about that, or you just wanted to know when?
When, because we have to set up after you've got to put up the posters, test the equipment.
Okay.
So I will double check with Jim. He'll probably have to do it that evening.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be less than 2 hours.
Okay.
Sure, so that gives you adequate time to do what you gotta do?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
I think so, thanks.
Karen?
Excuse me, just a reminder, for the town meetings in the past, we haven't set up the one for all booth, but it's required by law that we set it up now, the handicap.
Yes, I would suggest that's the only booth we have to really set up.
Yeah, and it's, the computer's been programmed, I got everything set up, it'll just need tested, but the ballots are all set up in it and everything, so.
So
it's
the
ready
only-
to go.
The only booth then would be the tent.
The one for the handicap
Yeah.
access. Yeah, all right, so the other, the new ones that we got, we'll just do the tables.
I would think just the tables in the, for the little. So then, when do we set up for town meeting?
Well, it'll have to be after the voting, obviously, so let's look at. So is this an extended volunteer?
Yep.
Thank you, Chris. All right, let's see. We can do it the next day, 10 o'clock Wednesday. Does that work for you?
On the 12th?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
10 o'clock Wednesday.
But we're gonna, and then you're gonna have the building, wait and have the building cleaned after the election, after town meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we might even go, because the following Saturday is the maple sugar presentation, so we might go after that. We'll have to see how
Dirty.
dirty it gets during the voting and town meeting process.
So one of the things we do today is we make assignments for the warrant articles to talk at town meeting.
Yep.
And Brian was going to give us his desires first. So I will, if it's okay with you, do you have any biases on them, or do you just take what comes?
I'll pretty much take what comes. I know when we talked about them, when you were out, I had assigned some. Well, yeah, I'll tell you which ones I'll take right now. I'll take 3, 4. Let's see if the number's still the same.
No, they're not.
Okay.
3 and 4 are zoning.
Okay, I don't want to do that. All right, so I'll take 6 and 7.
Would you note this? Because I'd like you to send this to Jim. He knows who's going to speak to these. So you're going to take 6 and 7,
6 and 7, yeah.
and I might give you some more.
Well, I'm not
Because
good.
Brian get the shot at doing some too.
Yeah. I'll take 8 as well, 6, 7, 8.
That's plenty. There's only 15, only 10, that's fine. So Brian and I'll do the rest. And if we make any changes, we'll let you know. So if you got those, I'll talk to Brian and make sure he buys in, and then we can send our assignments to the moderator. 6, 7, and 8. And you gave me this. Did you give me that?
Oh, yeah, I didn't need that. You don't need that.
Okay, that's the original.
8
Okay.
I don't think it's the original.
Okay, in our folder here, we have a letter from, we got a letter, I don't know where it's from. To talk about Moose Mountain liquor, alcohol.
The extended service letter. They requested.
They didn't sign it.
No, they need you to sign it.
Is this what they want?
Yes. They just need you to sign that so they can send it to the liquor commission. If you approve it.
Well, I think we should say something in here about being consistent with what the planning board has come up with for hours of operation. This isn't a change to that at all.
Yeah.
This
And
is
the location too, right? Because part of their site plan review included a location for, so there should be words in here that reference that decision. And that it was approved on Monday, you said?
Yeah, in lieu of the deck, there's a roped off area, 30 by 50.
I think it should reference.
the deck area that was approved
Yeah.
in the hours of operation.
I'd have to look that up.
I understand, but I think if we're going to go to the liquor commission, we're going to be consistent with what the planning board.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Good.
Wait, that should be in the minutes you just sent around.
Yep, I read that.
Somewhere in those 12 pages of minutes.
They were 11 pages. Come on.
Okay, so would you please update that?
Yeah. Sorry,
We
Bridget.
want to be consistent
Are
with.
we gonna have to wait until another meeting to have that signed? Because the longer we keep waiting, the longer it's pushing out our application. Therefore, we've been waiting for almost a year at this point.
Okay, would you like to prepare a letter and give it to us to sign?
I did prepare that,
It's
and
not-
it was changed. So if you want it to include the hours,
And the location.
I mean, the state's already gonna limit us to what we can do regardless. The state already sets limitations on us to begin with.
So can we have the hours and location specified?
Sure.
Thank you.
But do I have to wait until the next meeting to have it signed and get it? Do I have to wait another 2 weeks?
Okay.
Sorry.
So if they add location and hours consistent with what the planning board's approved, would we grant this?
I would say, yeah.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we approve this once the hours and location is specified in the letter.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then-
sorry, Brad.
And then we'll sign it as soon as we have that document.
So if I bring you that document tomorrow morning, you will sign it
I
for
can
me?
have it ready for them tomorrow morning. They'll just
Well, yeah.
I'll sign it.
Your
Then
letter,
I
I
can
can
give you a
go
call.
send it to you right now. I'll go right now and type it up in the car and send it to you. I mean, I can type it up on my phone and send it to you.
Excellent. Make sure you're consistent with hours and location.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. And any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So I did not say we're going to sign it first thing tomorrow morning because sometimes we have some mobility issues. But we'll get it signed before the next selectmen's meeting.
Okay, I just don't want to have to keep waiting and waiting because I had asked about this for the last meeting and now here we are another 2, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's kind of like it keeps getting pushed back every time.
I'll let you know as soon as it's signed.
Okay, any other course? Yes, we have a, we've got 2 things. We've got a request for a permanent application property tax credit. It's a, it's an elderly exemption. And it's been approved by the assessing department. So I'll make a motion that we approve that property exemption elderly.
I'll second the motion.
When we turn the page, you'll see there's the $30,000.
I need the map and lot for that?
Map and lot is,
You have to be a little sensitive. It's based upon
Okay,
financial status also.
just making sure.
So, you okay with it?
okay,
I'll make a motion we approve it. If I didn't,
second.
any discussion? No, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll do that. There was another one here, there was an abatement request here. There it is. This is a request for an abatement for property. It's up on Moose Mountain Road. Map 30, lot 4. And the amount of the abatement is $186,500. It's because there's an old dilapidated camper that was on that lot that was assessed at the wrong value. And when it was investigated, it decided that it's the wrong value. So,
That's investigated by the assessor, and he
well,
agrees
the person came in with documentation, the assessor reviewed it, yes.
and agreed with it.
Yes, that's his letter. So, I'll make a motion, we approve it. It's an abatement for, what's stumping me is I'm looking for a warrant, or not a warrant, an abatement form to sign so we can cut a check. Okay, well, I'll make a motion, we approve the abatement for $186,500.
I'll second.
And how much will the refund be, Rich? Is that the?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh,
That's exactly what I'm looking for. If that's just the assessed value, then you gotta do the calculation.
right.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And then we'll have to get that paperwork. Okay, we have any bills?
Yes, we do. Avatar for the building permit software, $7,250. Consolidated Communications, $144.74. Demo, I can't even pronounce this, it's the town election configuration for the handicap, or the, what, is that what it's called? The computer had to be updated, $600. Eversource, $199.18, and $28.18. Governor Wentworth Regional School District, $95,110.
It's, got the Gov connection
Sorry.
first.
Yes, Gov Connection, $248.17, sorry.
Yep.
You got Governor Wentworth,
Yeah, what was the amount?
$95,110. And then I have code enforcement's reimbursement for cell phone, $50, and mileage, $58.34. JEM cleaning services for cleaning the town hall, the townhouse, $100. I had to register for my conference in the spring, which was $275. It will be held in Manchester. Karen Savasic for postage and some supplies, $39.58. She has a few here. And then Karen had to buy supplies, $278.80. And we're going to increase her petty cash, we approved it last meeting for $25.
Okay.
Okay. Kindle Construction, I have two, $4,120 and $5,407.50. And I broke out the plowing of the town hall, which was $210. I broke that out separately for the account. Okay.
It's not showing.
No, it wouldn't show there, I just wanted to let you know that I did it. Morton Salt is $2,784.29. National Trust for Historic Preservation, $100. And State of New Hampshire Vital Records, $16. New Hampshire Preservation Alliance, $50. These are for heritage. And Rose Acker for certified mailings, $232.70.
Total for the manifest, $117,117.48. Make a motion, we accept the manifest as presented.
A second? All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
I also have another one for just the payroll taxes, which was $2,168.36.
Okay.
I do that electronically. So.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the manifest for payroll taxes in the amount of $2,168.36.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye?
Anything else, Joanne? Any other public input? Okay, we'll sign these checks. The meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Oh,
30 by 50 Southwest corner.
yeah, I remember that.
When you send to Jim,
Is it only if you registered new?
It's, yes, it's new, but also if you
Good answer to that.
I feel like more
As deficit. We're going to ask it like we are now.
I left it in the tag.
We need a good explanation, and I don't have a good explanation.
That's how we do it before the meeting.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get anything done, it's all, everything's a stop.
All right, I'm sorry, yeah.
Did you,
I know, but it is, but it's.
Yeah, I thought it was only issue.
Send your passport.
And you were saying, okay, here's my, it was a citizenship, but I marked it fine, but now I'm marked it.
He plays around and out.
yeah, I do too, in my,
Yes, just
oh,
oh, good, so what happened is
This is real ID.
so, no, we're like, not just, because it's New Hampshire, but it's all states now.
This is private junk.
And so I think so that could be our conversation.
Well, and that's what we're just going to restaurant.
I know where it was, I know who you're talking
Yeah, she
about.
didn't say
Right.
and then you get, even that.
Exactly, which is 16.
Then I can even take.
You want a copy of the sketch?
Right, exactly,
And move it.
yeah.
No, it's just save it.
Can't.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Really, I
It's
guess.
your finger. That's
I would
great.
say just,
So, you said something. Yeah.
Um,
No, but it's on the website. I do enjoy that. We just got today in New Hampshire. Stuff
It's good. And we bought it in Alabama, and we bought it, we said, oh, we need that in New Hampshire. She said, oh, there's one, something. So, we go to Newburyport. I know, that's all right. It's only a couple times a year.
I'm thinking my ride's.
Yeah, it's just about the same.
Yeah, it is. But I think the one is, they said before, really, is what was got from the
That doesn't actually just prove.
because I think
You get it.
You have to sign.
what it means. Exactly.
This one,
But I don't know how
You gotta get the
you're
full.
registered to work under Ingalls, so I don't know.
Who generates that? Is it gross or is it assessing?
that was my question.
So
The number's not here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She usually doesn't
Exactly.
generate numbers, she collects taxes.
Right, but she gave me the abatement for Meekin Trust. It wasn't very much money.
Calculated. That's the
I think it
good
came
thing.
from Rose. I think it came from Rose.
I'm gonna walk in there, sorry.
I'll grab it.
They do. And Rich didn't want to roll in.
We have this abatement request,
Yes.
but there's no check, there's no number here that what we have to abate. That's the assessed value, where's the number? We're not gonna give her back $186,000.
You're right.
Who makes that calculation? That's what stumped me.
Well, where's the abatement form?
That's what I said in the meeting, where's the abatement form?
Good
Damn,
luck tomorrow, okay?
we closed that loop.
Yeah.
Bob. Notes from Bob.
Let me get you a copy of the abatement form.
I don't want it, I want to sign it. Somebody can fill it out.
They can fill it out, right? Almost forgot.
Right, that goes to.
No,
assessing.
my foot's fine.
That'll teach you to go bowling.
No, right? Here is the updated letter. Whenever you order it for a service.
What is it?
The updated service to another area letter for them.
Hi, Karen. The last one.
Pleasure.
Leah, my sister did that New Hampshire leadership program and
Did she?
loved it. She thought it was so worthwhile for professionals, yeah.
Yay! I was so excited to get that
Where
email
does she work?
yesterday.
Where does your sister work?
Well, she actually works, gosh, you would ask me. It's,
It'll come.
in Laconia. I'll text her.
I was just curious as
When did she do it?
She actually did it quite some time ago, probably like 8 years ago. But she couldn't say enough about it.
Awesome.
they may have scholarship money there.
And what's the amount? What was the amount?
Of the abatement.
Oh,
They did it.
No, Rich just got it.
the assessment was abated by, Oh, you're talking about, she didn't fill in the number.
Oh, I thought she just dropped.
No, no, she just put a note on it for Bob.
Oh, I got you.
Bob's the one that's gonna generate the basic form.
The amount, yeah.
So would you, because of my mobility, would you take these two and put them in Bob's slot, mail slot? Yep. These go to Bob on
We're such
assessing.
an evil bunch.
Okay, there's the checks, I think I've got most of them.
Thank you.
No,
So you sign Bob?
that to me satisfies.
Okay.
That's okay?
And that's the letter to the liquor commission that states the hours of operation,
Yes,
which are,
6 a.m. to midnight.
okay. Are you gonna vote? Did you already vote?
We did, we said, we voted, made a motion on that.
Okay.
As long as I put those changes in.
And you get this back. We have to do something with this.
Thank you. I've been running through the snow, all my, gas lines. I feel like I broke my butt.
So,
Yeah, I do too.
Big,
because the meeting's at 18.
I'm going slowly, but I'm going. I'm already scared really fast.
Probably Tuesday if that, right after town meetings or town meetings.
Oh, and, I gotta sign the minutes to be approved, right?
yes,
Oh, so 18th the day of the
I
meeting.
didn't sign them either.
Yeah.
Because I may have left.
Right.
I didn't want to commit to that.
Oh, okay. So I'll have everything all set.
Yeah, you just,
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rita. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that one we didn't approve.
Right.
That one we approved and we signed. That one we throw away. I gotta take that home. You're doing, whatever you said. You're doing the first three.
7, 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, and 8.
I can do more if
I
need
will,
be.
yeah, well, gotta get Brian a shot, gotta give Zach a shot. Those two, those things,
Yep.
that was for your information.
Oh, is that what this is?
That's it.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Issue 2.
It's gonna be a sloppy thing. You go.
Well, that's why I attached that second page.
Oh, so my sister works at the Lakes Region Community Services, and she's a liaison for people with disabilities.
Oh, awesome.
That's what they're using it for. Employees. They're using it for employees.
To drive in.
It's very clear on the subdivision, who's gonna have to go for a variance.
Yeah. That's,
Do it right.
well, that's the place we're in with a couple of places on that road, you know, it's
Tell them.
the commercial businesses, in my opinion, so.
Okay. Yeah, and I thought a lot about it. It's like,
Would you do the?
it's like someone putting a barn up out back, which people do all the time.
Yeah, but do they have a crew that shows up at 6 in the morning every day and they load equipment and haul equipment in and out and that's,
Like, that gets marginal, right? That's where it's marginal.
that's that article right there that calls it into question. You know where all this is generated from.
see this, Tim? See the question we're gonna have is this, second page here. Is it a home-based business, is the question.
But that's, you have to go one step further according to the ordinance. And it's only acceptable for the people that are in the dwelling.
Oh, absolutely.
And-
You're right. You're allowed to have 4 employees.
But they have to live there.
Yes. I got a question there. Maybe not, I don't know about that.
That's what's written there.
So we got really 2 issues. 3 issues. We got a whole list of issues.
The second page is strictly to say that that's what it's being used for. There's a variety of heavy equipment that gets moved in and out on a regular basis, early in the morning.
So I pay it the big bucks. All right.
You've got to thank progress. We're making progress all the time. Coming up in the world.
I did want to tell you, I had to do the,
I think you were still recording.
oh.
You're allowed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, I'm gonna say it anyway, but I didn't want to say it. But,
You're gonna say it's all wrong.
right now.
So you don't have to.
Primex, okay, Primex, they did an audit. So you send them all the figures that they want and all that. Well, now that, at their request, Chris breaks out his labor costs, okay? That increased the audit from last year by like 50,000 for workers' comp. So I just wanted you to be prepared. It won't affect this year's rates, but I think it affects the ones in next year.
Can I ask why?
And we've been down this path so many
I know.
times because he's a subcontractor.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me that we pay workers' comp for just your labor, but
That's
you
insurance
pay it
fraud.
yourself. You pay it
Yes,
yourself.
that's insurance fraud on their behalf.
They wrote back and explained why, but I can print it.
Yeah, I do have a solution for it, but we'll have to
I just
discuss
want
it.
you to be prepared. It'll go up quite a bit, I think.
And you're paying it yourself?
He does.
I am not required to pay workers' comp because
Oh.
I am an officer of my own corporation.
Okay.
We do not have any hourly employees that are not officers.
So that's why.
I wonder if that's, because if they were double dipping, right, because you were paying and we're
Right.
paying, you could argue.
Right.
It's essentially double dipping though because I'm not responsible for it.
Who is?
No one. I'm not responsible for workers' compensation insurance because you're allowed 3 officers of a corporation that are owners that do not need to pay workers' comp. Because you're not technically an employee or an owner.
And why is Primex saying we have to pay it?
I'd have to go print it out. I can't remember, but
Could you print it out?
yeah, let me go
We've
look.
been down this path before.
I know.
Why would they don't do it both places?
I think the issue comes in where
Let me go look.
everything I do is by the hour. And that's a very sticky situation when it comes to insurance and
That's true.
the relationship between the contractor and the client. If we were to do everything under a contract, then it would have nothing to do with anybody, including the auditors, because you would be signing a contract to pay me this amount of money for this service. It's cut and dried. But because we do things by the hour, it starts to bring in a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I mean, pick a number. Let's say we sign a contract that says, we're gonna give you $250,000 and take care of our road summer work.
Then they would have the auditors and the insurance would have no purview.
But to me, there was no accountability. What are we getting for the 250? And then I don't, this is,
Yeah, no, I know.
it's getting,
I
I
absolutely
put my
agree.
Doge hat on now. right? And I'm looking at the USAID contracts, you know, $250 million to,
Well, the way this town handles this particular situation is extremely unique. I've not found another town in the state of New Hampshire that does what we do. Because I've been looking, because I've been trying to figure out how other towns do things.
you mean they do it? Here's your $250,000.
They do it for the winter. They do winter maintenance contracts where they pay one price for the entire winter. And that is ultimately, I think, where we're headed here. Because there's just too many problems with the way it is at the moment. And then the summer maintenance, they have their own employees.
Well, we said we would rework your contract early this year, it's March. If we're gonna change, we should, this is the year that, or we're gonna wait
Yes.
another 3 years.
Right. Well, and that's the issue is, that's why I've been trying to find any place to base this off of. If you go over the border, almost every small town in the state of Maine, it's a winter maintenance contract, and then they have other employees to handle the summer maintenance. It's kind of strange, but
Celebrating each other's birthdays, right?
We would have to do either one contract that covers winter and summer, or two separate contracts.
and that's probably what, if you want to get away from this insurance stuff, that's what it's probably looking at. And as far as accountability, the way these are all paid is by the month, or, you know, so.
Take the 250 divided by 12.
So that's where your accountability comes in, and I would agree with you, it's not great. In my case, I live in the town, so I have a dog in the fight, so to speak. But if I'm not doing it and you have to go outside of the town to some other company somewhere else, they don't have any, there's no incentive, put it that way,
Right.
other than the honor system.
No, I appreciate it.
Before.
But what if we said, okay, give us a detailed breakdown of how that
Oh,
250
yes, because.
works, so that we could at least say,
What do you mean I have
This
to
is the
drive
plan.
an hour to do
we
things?
can't go in and say, he did this on Tuesday, he did that on Thursday, he did that in last November.
Yeah,
But he did it.
They're like 2 seconds.
yeah. It's gonna take a little more research and a little more work, but
She said.
when we first stumbled onto this insurance issue, I started to do a little more digging, and
Right.
Where are you?
that's where the auditing comes into play, and the
Well,
insurance.
they'll either
Well,
adjust or.
no, when you do anything by the hour, it becomes sticky, because it's, are you telling me what to do, or am I just doing it? And there's no proof of that. And if you're telling me, then I'm an employee. If you're not, then I'm not. So it comes down to hearsay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, done? All done, Mr. Chairman? 7:05. Maybe there.
Right, you can me in there.
The other option is like a hybrid option where you have a town employee that's called the road agent that makes these decisions,
Yes.
and then he contracts the work out.
17 miles to the store.
How long does it take to walk around?
It's really a weird situation. Like I said, I have not found another town in the state of New Hampshire.
Down there,